Hi, it's Double975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Legacy version on Xbox. And today I'm bringing you one of those piracy encounters that was just like, huh? Why? It was just one of those encounters that like left me confused and a bit stunned. Everything was going kind of normally. The guy seemed, to... Well, let me know what you think in the comments down below at the end. I'm just going to show it to you and let me know what you think. So the guy's full of silver. He pulls up right in front of me. I type the 10 tons, please message. He seems to be bouncing around like he's realizing it's another commander. So I offer him 10 tons for a 24-hour pass. Now I know he's got chaotic in his name, but what happens in this is just, odd. So anyway, here we go. So he's bouncing up and down in front of me, unshielded, type 9. I can't remember if this was Soul or Malanja, but one of the two. And I'm like, okay, are you going to give me the 10 tons? 10 tons, please? Just all I want is 10 tons. I don't want any more than that. I'm not asking for tons and tons here. I mean, I had a really good month on Piracy. This would really, really help the scoreboard, but yeah, so still nothing. So I'm like, alright, screw it, I'll hatch broker him. And yeah, so I think I gave plenty of time there for him to give me the 10 tons I asked for. And then what happens from here, I'm just mind blown from. I'm like, what's going on? Alright, he's dumping cargo and lots of it. What's happening? Now if you dump over a certain amount it blows up. So he's like whizzing around blowing up all the cargo. So I'm just going to follow him, keep tabs on him, because the last cargo he drops will survive this purge. But it's very random. Like he's literally seemingly dropping everything. Like I said, I know he had chaotic in his name, but I wasn't expecting that. But as a pirate, it's a pretty good sight to see, and definitely one we love to see. But it's very, very, very strange. Now I've been being good lately. I've been messaging fully. I've been typing, stop this cargo scan, etc. Here's an example of me pirating someone else before we go back to the Type 9. And I mean, Malanja has been popping lately with a lot of commanders, and people in wings especially. People always get confused when I interdict him in things like a Viper 4 and stuff like that. But like a little novice in the Viper 4, he's not going to be carrying any cargo. It's just to give him a little bit of experience in an interaction. There's no harm in it. Like unless he's got cargo on board, all it's going to get from me is a no cargo free to go and be scanned. So I'm not going to harm him or anything. In fact, he'd probably beat me up in that ship because I've got very little shields in this thing. It is just a size 7A hatch breaker limpet and a chair. But like I say, it's just nice to interact with commanders and give them a little message and a little send on their way. And I do respect anyone who's chosen the Viper Mark IV as a mode of transport. Great jump range, great shields, great amount of armour, and you can actually carry an absolute ton of cargo on one of those things and still maintain a good jump range. Way better in a lot of ways than the Mark III, Cobra Mark III as an all-rounder ship. Unfortunately on PC has now been totally outshadowed by the Cobra Mark V, but then every small ship in the game has been overshadowed by the Cobra Mark V because they made the new ships to be ridiculously powerful. Which is a shame because the Viper Mark IV is a great ship and one I think you should see more of. Now back to my friend in the Type 9. As you can see, he's gone full he's dumping out all of his cargo. He's baffled me, completely confused me. And then it gets worse because as well as dumping all his cargo, he decides to self-destruct. Like, I shot 2 limpets at him. That would have at most got me about 10 or 12 tons of cargo. And I was horrified by this whole encounter. I didn't, that's not what I wanted, but I'm not going to complain because I'm going to get 28 tons of cargo out of it, which is what I can carry on my clipper. Unfortunately, had I known, I would have brought my dropship because I can carry 64 tons of cargo. But yeah, very odd behaviour from this commander, and most strange. I literally just noticed now. Look, his hull dropping. He's suiciding right now, and I'm not showing it on screen because I didn't even realise at the time that he had self-destructed until he basically that when he blew up, and I was like, did I just hear him blow up? And then I realised he self-destructed. Luckily for me, I managed to scoop up all the cargo I could carry. But yeah, what a waste of cargo. But did prove to be good for me in terms of Piracy Tonnage Scoreboard. I had the most successful month I've had probably in 2 years. So, I can't complain. June was amazing for cargo. But I don't expect commanders to commit suicide and dump all their cargo when I'm only asking for 10 tons. I don't know if he didn't understand what was going on. I don't know if it was a communication barrier. I don't know if his friend's settings means he didn't see the messages. I would love to find out, but yeah, all in all, a encounter that left me a little bit cold and thinking, this is bizarre. I don't really know what to make of this, but look at all that cargo. Anyway, yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and as much as I'm left bemused by like this, I would like to say for the record that I still believe
everything's better with Piracy.